We're here with some standard on MTGArena. Playing Blue-Green Mutate. Blue-Green Mutate has a companion, Amore. Amore is a 4-mana 4/5. It requires you to have every card type in your deck other than lands be the same thing. And when it's in play, you choose a card type, and cards of that type cost you 1 less. So everything in this deck would be a creature. And then when Amore is cast, all of our creatures cost 1 less while it's in play. This is a pretty interesting deck. You got like the obvious blue-green things like Paradise Druid to ramp, Grazer to ramp, and then it gets a little more different than most other ones. It's got a mutate package, obviously being called Blue-Green Mutate. You've got the Migratory Greathorn to help you ramp, the Armored Killer or Gem Raiser, very good at killing Elspeth Conquers Death and Fires of Invention. Pouncing Shore Shark will help you bounce creatures, clear the path, but the real winners are Starix and Aluna. Both of them, when they mutate, will put a the top permanent card from your library into play for Starix for every time that's mutated. So if there's the third mutation, will put 3 permanents into play. Aluna will put the top non-land permanent into play, so it'll get rid of the lands and then put the top permanent into the battlefield. Now, what we're trying to do with this is put End-Raze Forerunners into play very quickly and just provide a ton of damage. Ideally, we'll mutate onto a hexproof Paradise Druid, but that doesn't always work. With Baby Godzilla and Umori, things are relatively cheap, so we can mutate for 3 or 4 mana. And we should have a lot of lands in play thanks to putting things into play via the Starix, via Aluna, via Greathorn, or just general ramp. And then we have a little bit of a mana sink with Spectral Sailor, draw some cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to play 5 games on the ladder, see how we do. Standard ranked, Blue-Green Mutate. And we can go ahead and bring up the record box. Boom, right there. Well, this deck is, it's a thing. It has some pretty explosive games, and it has some games where it just looks terrible. This hand is not very good, so what we're looking for is early mana ramp. We're really looking for a Paradise Druid, we're really looking for a Grazer. And we get to mulligan aggressively with this deck. This hand also no good. We don't mind mulliganing, to 5 or anything. In fact, we will do that here. We'll actually get rid of the Grazer here, since we can't play it on turn 1 anyways. And then get rid of the Spectral Sailor, since we don't have a ton of mana. Well, that was a little unfortunate. We could have kept the Grazer then, but we didn't know that in advance. It should still be a turn 3 Amori. Turn 3 Amori into turn 4 Starix is like a viable line that we can take in this game. I'm going to cast Uro. And we'll go ahead and drop it into play. We will choose Creature. Our opponent played Growth Spiral and Uro. Turn 2, Growth Spiral, turn 3, Uro. Yeah, they did miss a land drop. If they stumble on mana here, we are going to be able to apply a lot of pressure and put a lot of things into play. Now, the question here is what we want to do. I think we start with Baby Godzilla, because that's going to be mana neutral. It just puts an extra creature onto the battlefield. then I think we just want to try to get the King of the Cosmos into play. We get to draw and discard with Baby Godzilla for free, even if they do have some sort of counterspell here. Which they didn't. So we're gonna get the top permanent from our library that's not a land into play. Unfortunately, it's a grazer. We will go ahead and put it into play. That is one of the downsides of playing the cheap ramp cards and the King of the Cosmos, but that's all right. Shatter the Sky, so we get to draw a card. Ah, Endra's Forerunners was the next card, too. That is unfortunate. We'll play a 4/4. Elspeth Conquers Death. And I think at this point, we're just not gonna make it. I think at this point they've got enough stuff going on. We did mulligan to 5. And we're just kind of not able to keep up with the things that they're doing. Yeah, we have no real plays next turn. Do they get back anything interesting? They get an Uro activation, but that's really it. Now, when this deck does start doing its thing, it puts a lot of power onto the battlefield. So the life total isn't out of reach yet, but it's going to get pretty close. And also, they're drawing so many cards, right? What are they going to do? Hit with a 6-power lifelinker this turn? Yeah, I think Nissa will probably do it. But we will keep trying it out.
Behold, nature's true power.
Keep trying to fight through them. Maybe, maybe a land here. Let's just play Starix, and then we can potentially start some mutation shenanigans. But we do not get there. That's okay. Those types of games are going to happen. Anytime that we don't get a land 5 in this deck that late into the game, we probably are not winning it, right? And it doesn't matter what you're playing. Anytime you mulligan to 5, it's an uphill battle. It's not a guaranteed loss or anything, but we definitely could not overcome the Shatter the Sky that killed multiple creatures of us. This hand is medium. We have no ramp, but we'll give it a shot. The fact that we have Baby Godzilla into Great Horn does give us a little bit of ramp and extra card draw. The Gem Razor could be very good this game. Uro. We'll see what land they get here to help us decide. So this might not be the Fires version. But I still think I want to get some more mana in play. Over. I was wondering if they grabbed a forest, or I'm sorry, a mountain, I would have definitely wanted to keep the Gem Razor in hand for potential fires. Them grabbing a plains makes me think this is just Banty-Orion and not like the Luca Yorion Fires deck. Which means the Gem Razor not quite as good. It still does take out Elspeth Conquer's Death. But not as good as in the other matchup. So here we have the potential to play the King of the Cosmos. We get a draw and a discard no matter what here. I don't think we need the second Baby Godzilla. We'll poke for 3 again. Opponent with 3 cards in the graveyard. The fairy.
You show remorse, I'll show respect. Trust me, I have a plan.
Over. Grab a forest. And Baby Godzilla.
Don't worry, I got this.
When it casts Growth Spiral into Omen of the Sea. Okay. Let's turn this into the King of the Cosmos. Discard a card, the castle. Discard a card, the island. Put it over. Decline. It is a legend, unfortunately. And then we'll mutate again. Discard Paradise Druid at this point. Discard Forest. Under. Go ahead and kill one of these Omens of the Sea. I will certainly put that into play. Hmm. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're 1 away from Endray's Forerunners. Oh, they've had enough. Excellent. I was trying to decide if I wanted to attack the face or to attack the Teferi, assuming they would have a Shadow of the Sky or something, but we did not have to worry about it. And we go to 1 and 1. Awesome. And as you can see, this deck, when it gets rolling, it puts a lot of power onto the battlefield. And we even haven't had one of the, or we haven't even had one of the crazy Endray's Forerunner turns. This hand just does not do anything. Nor does this one. I think we'll go to 5 again. This and an island. So this is one of those decks that you do want to mulligan aggressively with. But you still don't want to, you know, go down to 5 or anything. Turn 1 Grazer into turn 2 Greathorn. Let's put 3 power on the board on turn 2 and ramps us. Unsummon. Ooh, Mori. Its essence captured. Little Grazer. And Baby Godzilla. The Pouncing Shore Shark should be pretty nice against the Flash deck. We should be able to find a spot to drop it in there. Opponent has 4 cards. We can try to put this onto the Grazer. Draw and discard a card. Over. Ramp up some more lands. And attack for 4. And if they try to do anything here, we can Shore Shark. And they do try to do Sublane. We can discard the Grazer at this point. Over. Bounce the Cutthroat. They have 3 cards. We'll draw and discard first. And they did have the essence capture here. Now we can try and hit the Aluna. Ah, unfortunate. Discard that as an island. Now we attack. However, we do know what their hand is now, so that's good. Oh, this should be nice. Starix. And we got there. They concede. So even after, oh, not 5. Even after mulligan to 5, we were able to work through against the mono blue Flash deck. Go up to 2-1. 2 games left. It's possible that this deck wants another Shore Shark, because that's a pretty good card in a lot of matchups. The problem is it's just really, really bad against like the most popular matchup, which is the one that only plays Agent of Treachery. This hand no good. This hand is also no good. Looks like we're going to mulligan to 5 again, but this hand just doesn't do enough. By the time we get to Amori, the opponent's doing whatever it is they want to be doing. And what the opponent is doing, no matter what they're playing, is probably going to be more powerful than what we're doing overall. Our goal is to do our thing faster than our opponent does. That one's easy at least. Yeah, I think I have to do this. Maybe I should have got rid of the Spectral Sailor instead of the third land. That, however, was a pretty great draw. So we'll land next turn and we get to drop turn 3 Omori. Coil Serpent. Play Baby Godzilla. That means next turn we can Shore Shark if we need to. We have a Grazer that we can discard. Yorvo. We're going to mutate onto the Spectral Sailor. Discard the Grazer. Put this over. And bounce the Yorvo. Take action. Back for 4. Now we want to draw a bunch of mutate cards in a row to keep bouncing their creatures. Oh, Voracious Hydra. That gets to fight Suppling, or it gets to become large. I actually don't want to bounce either one of these. We'll just play Omori, name creature, and get in there for 4. Both of these being X spells, we don't really want them to get bigger than they are. Unfortunately, the Serpent does have protection from multicolored, so the Omori does not get to really attack in there. That's a big Serpent. Aw. Bounce that. Put a land into play. Take action. Fuck for 4. In theory, I could also attack with Omori and Spectral Sailor. And in order for them to, like, eat the Spectral Sailor, they have to take more damage. And if they make this block with the Serpent on the Collector, then they take the extra 1 from the Sailor. So I think we get to get some extra damage in here, or kill one of their creatures. Yeah. Poked through an extra damage. Certainly could be relevant. Yorvo. Into Gem Razor. Now that's a 6/6. Protection from multicolored. Reach. Let's activate this ability. Alright. I'm pretty happy with that. Next turn should be pretty decent. We'll get to bounce the Serpent, have a 6/6 flyer, put 2 permanents into play. In fact, if they don't play something that can block fly, if they don't play this Serpent here, they might just be dead next turn to the Starix on top of the Shore Shark, which would bounce the Gem Razor and B6 power. Does this have reach? It does not, right? Correct. Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste. Okay. I think that's the game. 9, 13. I think we just take that. Go to 3. And win the game. Mutate onto the Shore Shark. Draw a card. Discard a card. Put it over. Bounce this one. We'll land a play, and we win! 3-1. Excellent. And that's 3-1 after mulliganing to 5 in 3 different games. Again, you really want to mulligan aggressively with this deck. You want it to get started doing its thing, because the cards you're going to be facing in Standard are objectively more powerful on the opponent's side, regardless of what they're playing. The reason why this deck can perform well is the synergies it has with all the different mutates stacking on top of each other. This hand is really not what we're looking for either. This hand's okay. It's not the best. Oh, that Castle Garenberg hurts, actually. I think we'll keep and get rid of the Grazer. We could go Baby Godzilla into hopefully Gemraiser. Oh, that is a wonderful draw. Opponent is playing Obosh as their companion. Means they have nothing in their deck that can be even mana cost. We're gonna get a turn 3, 4, 5. That's very nice. And we're gonna name creature. Or 5 is pretty big. Next time we get to do a few things. We get to potentially just play King of the Cosmos on our Omori. Make a 6/6 flyer. Claim the first Berlin. Plus Woe Strider. Well, now we don't. Now we're a mana short. Bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Baby Godzilla. Make it a 4/4. Get a draw and discard. Over. Now the question. Are we the aggressor or not? I think we are. Oh, we can attack with that one. Like, if they block with Woestride and Gutterbones, are we happy with that? At this point, I think so. Judith. All right. Yikes. All right, we're gonna take 7. We need the Baby Godzilla for the King of the Cosmos here. It's gonna hurt a lot next turn. We will discard Baby Godzilla. Put put over. We put a permanent into play. That's not a land. Do I want to put that into play? Yes. Now the question is, assuming they untap and play Obosh, can I get away with an attack here? We would have a block, 4, 5, 7. Oh, we would be super dead. In fact, I think we're still super dead. I think if they untap and play Obosh, we're just dead to Judith plus Woe Strider. Because that would do what, like 2 damage for everything they sack? If they don't have a land into Obosh this turn, I think we're going to win. Okay. Mayhem Devil makes it super interesting also. I don't think it's quite dead. Okay. Well. Mutate onto this. Discard Grazer. I would like to put that permanent onto the battlefield. Put those permanents onto the battlefield. Great Horn. We're going to do it again. Under. Grab a land. Take action. Enter's tapped. I think we're still going to be a little short. I think we should have put one of these armored killers into our hand instead. We did not hit an Endra's Forerunners, unfortunately. If we put one of the armored killers into our hand, we could have mutated again by paying the 2 life for the breeding pool here. So I think we're going to lose this game due to user error. And as you can see, the blue-green deck is a little complicated. Not the easiest thing. We're at 9. Another mutation here would have been able to put a lot more permanents into play, and we could have really chained it more. That should be land 5, and I think that should be the game. Well, there were a lot of mulligans. We almost went 4-1. We probably should have gone 4-1 if we played slightly better here at the end. Well, this deck had some really cool things going on, and I hope that you all enjoyed watching it. It can definitely get very silly. So to go over it one more time, if we had to put the armored killer into our hand instead of on the battlefield, we could have paid 2 life to untap Breeding Pool and then mutated again, which would have gotten another 4 permanents into play from the Starix and a non-land permanent into play from the Aluna. And if one of those was a Endra's Forerunners, perhaps we would have had enough damage. Although I didn't quite calculate all of that out, so it might not have mattered. But we went 3-2. All in all, a pretty successful adventure. I think the deck's really fun. I don't know exactly how good it is. It is definitely something I've only played in best of 1, so I don't know any sideboard stuff. But for what it was, I had a good time, and I hope you did too. And I will catch you next time with more random brews. Take care.